Hey, what's going on, everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. I'll just throw you right into it. Right. Here with the man himself. I'll show you his channel. You probably already know Mr. Mark Puckett from The Photo Video Show. How's it going today, man?
I'm doing fantastical. How about yourself, sir?
It's going fantastical myself, too. It's great to finally get face-to-face-ish through Skype and to talk about something that has really invigorated the photography world, especially YouTube, for a long period of time. What is that? It is Fanboys.
I hate fanboys.
Me too. That's a great video. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. We agree.
All right, that's it. See you guys later.
So the day old topic, fanboys. And I'm not just going to necessarily talk about someone who likes a Nikon camera and because they just get all butthurt if someone talks about it. It's the stigma of what goes behind the gear. And we did talk about gear and what makes pro gear and everything on Mark's channel. So look at that down in the description below. And, you know, go check that out and see how it kind of correlates to what we're talking about now, because they do intertwine greatly because of pro gear and these fanboys only liking and thinking about that everyone should own and have and agree with their own freaking opinion, when that is absolutely not the case. I think fanboys is pretty much one of the biggest things out there, one of the biggest stigmas. And I even hate saying fanboys. It's just an ignorant person or someone who's rude just trying to force their opinion on for absolutely no reason on our own videos. I mean, I know you've had experiences like that as well, but forcing their own opinion just because that, you know, they are what we say, keyboard warriors, and it's just absolutely disgraceful. So, you know, give me a little something about yourself. What is your thoughts on some of these fanboys and just having fun with them?
I'll start from the beginning. Almost anything that I post, it really doesn't even matter. It could be a microphone, it could be a lens, it could be a camera body,
Sony.
It could be, a reflector, anything. It quite literally could be anything. And as soon as you make your personal opinion known, you then have everyone, and I don't even know why they're searching out for stuff that they don't buy or they're not interested in the first place.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, they just start showing up in like droves. And then I don't know if they're looking for confirmation bias or what it is, but if someone has a different opinion of some piece of gear that they maybe have bought, if these people that show up into my videos and they've already bought the gear and they clearly like it, and then I go, I think it sucks or it's horrendous or you shouldn't buy it, this is a no-go, then out of nowhere they go, oh my God, how could you ever? And then it just kind of progresses down.
How dare you?
I know. Just down the rabbit hole from there. It's just crazy. But sometimes they have legitimate reasons why maybe I should have a different opinion. And sometimes it sways me. That's a real thing. Like sometimes their argument sways me. But sometimes, a lot of times it doesn't. I mean, I have, very strong convictions myself. And if I don't like a piece of kit, I just say what I think. And they don't like it. So then I get flamed, and then the conversation degrades, and then it's name calling, and then it's a lot of other stuff.
Well, that's when you just hide user comments on some of those, because and that's another stigma a lot of people get on YouTube is like, oh, do you block comments and stuff like that? Yeah, that's my brand and my image you're trying to tarnish for being a moron.
Right.
And for people that literally just don't add anything to the discussion, I don't think there's any use for you on my channel or anyone else's channel. So I see exactly where you're coming from, and it happens because, like I mentioned on your channel, we were talking about pro gear. Like I did a Nikon D750 review, and because I didn't trash it. I said I wasn't a fan of the touchscreen, and you're paying extra for it. People were like, well, you're stupid. Sony's got a bunch of all these now and everything like that. I said, that's good for you, but I don't care. I don't need it. Or VR. One of the biggest things are people who go apeshit over vibration reduction, image stabilization, optical stabilization, and they fanboy those lenses for their certain brands because it's what they love. Well, guess what? Like you said, I don't have to love what you love. You come, you flame, you spew garbage because that's just how it is. And I don't like talking about the hate and everything of that, but this is a stigma that we do have to get rid of in the photo video industry because it just brings it down. It brings the quality down. It tarnishes the pro name.
Yeah. I mean, if you take it solely for what it is, and if it's just an opinion, and they clarify, look, I totally disagree with you here. It's just my opinion, but, and then they roll into, the reasons why.
But that's an intelligent person, someone who's adding something to the discussion.
That is a value add comment. But if they go, dude, your comment is not, or your opinion is not mine, so it sucks. And your mom, licks horse nuts or whatever. If it's just something ridiculous,
She doesn't.
I don't know. There's nothing really to say. Even though I try not to censor my comments, I really do. I try really hard not to
I try, but
censor, because I'm anti-censor, but at the same time, it's just like this is just horrendous, and I don't really ever want to read this particular comment again just because you're ignorant.
Or from this person.
Or from this person, Very rarely will I censor. I will quip, be very witty in my response or something like that, but otherwise, man, you've got to not only have an opinion, but you've got to back it up with like some reasons why.
Or it's the thing where someone has those reasons and you may not be the most well versed on it. And there are some times where I make a video and I may not be the most well versed technically of it. A, because I don't care enough to dive in that deep because I'm just making a reaction video.
Right.
And two, I don't care. I just don't. I'm making it because it's my opinion on something like that. But then someone comes in and they're the total fanboy and said, well, no, it's actually, 5 minutes per thing of the 5264 codec. I don't give a shit. I
Right.
don't care.
And I think that, we honestly probably have it just a smidge worse because I can release a video like from 2 years ago. I'm still getting comments on some opinions I had that far back. And they're like, dude, you suck, or dude, your audio was only on the left channel. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, dude, cut me some slack. That was like 4 years ago that I made that video. Why are you still salty about it all this time later?
Or the funniest thing, and I know I pissed some people off, and I still plan to do in the future. I made 2 videos. Why Nikon sucks, why Canon sucks. I'm going to link those down below as well. So that way you can see what my review was back in 2014. But it's funny that you bring that up because I will still get comments on that saying, well, bullshit, now Nikon does 4K. You don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. Obviously, it's 2014.
Right, I can change my opinion in that video without losing all my views on that video. You're dumb.
Not happening. But the fanboy stuff, it really does need to stop because it does nothing. It's no contribution to the creative community whatsoever. And it's just funny that, like, you are a Sony shooter, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You immediately are typecasted or stereotyped into being a Sony lover. You can't love anything else. You are a good example of Jason Lanier to a lot of people because he abandoned Nikon to go Sony. He must be a Sony paying to go Sony. How much money do you make from Sony right now?
$0.
Stop it. Mark, be honest.
I know.
Be honest.
Look, let me call my Sony rep and see if he can let me tell you. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Got it. Okay.
Tell him nothing.
Yeah, 0.
Oh, okay. He said nothing. And that's the thing, and there are reasons why I'm still a Nikon shooter. I do have a Sony gear, so all of a sudden I get that. It's just funny how that works.
See, I mean, honestly,
I like to think of it, you're being more well-versed because you came from Nikon. Now you're into Sony. I shoot video freelance with friends and business people's Canon gear and Reds and stuff like that. I know the whole line of stuff. You don't see what happens in my life because I can't talk about some of the stuff. Some of it's NDAs. I know you might deal with some NDAs. I don't know. But don't assume that only because you have some one brand that you are only that brand. I'm very brand agnostic.
Now, I can remember when Jason released his video, Jason Lanier, we're talking about. If you haven't checked out any of his videos, I'm a fan. I have no problem, promoting him. But he swapped because he had saw some things or whatever. I had never even heard of Jason Lanier when I had decided to break away from Sony or from Nikon and go to Sony.
Interesting.
Right after I started making that, right after I made my I'm divorcing Nikon video, everyone started saying, dude, there's this other guy and you should quit copying him or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Because I just got that when I released my I'm not impressed with the new Nikon cameras video. I mean, but the fact of the matter is that photographers know what they like to be working with, what they're interested in, the image quality, the grain pattern. There's very specific things that people just like.
Yep.
I'm not a fanboy because if I was, I'd probably still be with Nikon. Nikon produces some of the absolute best still images in the business.
But too bad, because you own Sony, so you must hate it. Stop lying. Stop lying.
I know, right? But I hate the way Nikon does their business model as far as their upgrades or their new releases. And I've explained those fully in a lot of the other videos that I've produced. So, I mean, if anyone's interested, you can go look at them. You can understand the reasons why.
Check out his channel below.
But the fact of the matter is that I don't hate Nikon. I just hate Nikon for me personally at this very moment. But if Sony ever starts to jerk me around like I felt like Nikon was, I will abandon ship just as fast. And that is a honest to God promise. I have no brand loyalty.
And the thing I noticed too, a lot of these fanboys are closet fans of someone else. Like, it could be this Nikon person who actually really hates what Nikon says, kind of like what you're saying in this regards. But
Right.
they really want to be a Canon shooter. But because it is so hard and so impossible, and trust me, there's many times where I've thought about either going full Sony or full Canon in regards. Canon has strong products, in my opinion. 5D Mark III is a fantastic camera. It does a lot of things. But it is so hard because everything is so hard to sell, bundle-wise, and to turn over to go to another brand. So these people may even be like Canon people. So when they search out these Nikon videos to spew their hate or to just bring up something or just to disagree with your opinion for absolutely no reason, it's because deep down there's a reason, and it's because they want to go to another brand, but it's so hard to do. Like, you even saw I tweeted at Nikon about their the Nikon D500 or whatever grip it was, but it was like $400 or $500, and I said, you really need to stop making atrocious stuff or something like that. And I actually got a private message from someone saying, well, then don't buy their stuff. I like Nikon. I'm Nikon for a reason, but I shouldn't be jerked around like you said because of that. I'm not a fanboy because of that. It's just my professional workflow and how I like to work. It doesn't have to be the same thing for you as it is for me.
Yeah, and I think that not to drag this out, but fanboys or fangirls, for that matter,
and fangirls,
they don't. It's confirmation bias, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't do them any good to disagree with someone else that doesn't shoot what they shoot with. I mean, it benefits them absolutely nothing. What they're looking for if they've already bought a specific product or whatever, what they're doing is they're looking to search out videos that confirm their purchase. Yeah. Right. If they have spent what most people would consider an exorbitant amount of money, they want someone to make them feel better about that purchase rather than find someone that maybe has a different opinion that makes them think, you know what, maybe I was looking for a different feature and I didn't necessarily get exactly what I wanted with this brand, and have I made a mistake? No one likes to make mistakes.
Or they say, oh, and those are the people that spend that $2,000 and go on the video like, fuck you, you don't own the camera, so you're wrong.
Right.
Like, no, I've owned every camera like it, so I know what not to look for. And we are the video. That is the video you need to hear to know if you should invest that money. And that's how fanboys need to be stopped. That's how this stigma, that's how these things need to just end. They do nothing for the industry. If you're watching this video, and hopefully someone is, you are not doing anything for yourself or for anyone else. And I could easily, be it censorship or not, remove your comment if it's extremely moronic and does nothing to the conversation, and you wasted your goddamn time.
And I mean, fanboys, whether they be genuine or whether they're just looking for confirmation bias, the fanboys don't really do anything to help their brand, because what they need to be, if they genuinely love a specific product because they like the way it feels or it really serves a niche in their particular workflow, they need to be as critical as possible about the stuff that does suck.
I agree.
Because that's the only way that their particular brand that they love is ever going to improve. If they're always just bowing down, always on their knees, always, pumping them up, they're never, ever going to give you what you want because you never complain loud enough.
Why do you think it took Nikon so long to replace that D300, D300S with the Nikon D500?
Absolutely. And, a lot of people, they're going to spend that money. They're going to spend $2,000 for that crop sensor body.
They're going to love it.
Personally.
They're going to love it.
And they will, and I'm sure that they will. I wouldn't spend that amount of money on a crop sensor body. That's just me. You can flame me all you want. But, there are a lot of crop sensor bodies out there that are a lot less, that do a lot more, and are, but it's Nikon. I know how they are because I was with them for like 6-7 years total.
Yep.
I bought like 8 of their camera bodies, tried them all. It's not a hate. It's definitely not a hate. It's a strong dislike because I wasn't getting what I wanted at the time. So if Sony ever starts doing the same thing, I'll ditch them too. I promise. Scout's honor.
Yeah, I easily agree. And we'll kind of wrap it out because I think we've beat it with I think we beat a dead horse here. But my thing is, in this whole situation, go to your local camera shop, go to a Best Buy, go to wherever you go. They have every single camera of every brand that you'll need of the 3 if you want to go that route. They even have some Olympus and everything like that. I've seen it. I know 100%. Go feel a Sony camera. Go through the menu system. Do you hate it? Do you like it? Do you like the ergonomics? I don't know. Go feel a Canon body. You will love a Canon over a Nikon body. That's how I started, and go through those that way. It's an easy, quick decision to make, but it's something that will absolutely pay off, and you'll see if it is something that you need.
Sure.
Absolutely. So, once again, thank you so much for joining this video. Once again, we made a video that intertwined about this a little bit on Mark's channel. Check that down in the description below. We talked about pro gear, what defines pro gear, all that kind of stuff. It intertwines a little bit what that is. So check that out right now. It is live at the same time as this video. So once again, thanks for Mark for joining the channel, joining the show right now from the VCR radio show. Hopefully you're having a great day. You see what I did there? It was a word play on your name.
Oh yeah, it was dope.
Have a good one. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye.